Welcome to this powerful breakdown of Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, one of the most life-changing personal finance books ever written. In this series, we'll go chapter by chapter, unpacking the real lessons the rich teach their kids about money. Lessons the poor and middle class often miss. Each chapter will be summarized in a clear and actionable way, focusing on three key categories. The big idea, which reveals the core message that can transform your mindset. Key takeaways, offering insights you can remember and use. And next moves, practical steps to apply these lessons in your own life. Whether you're just starting your financial journey or looking to level up, this series is your guide to building financial intelligence. Let's dive into Chapter 1. The chapter, titled "The Rich Don't Work for Money," reveals how the wealthy view money differently. While most chase paychecks, the rich focus on acquiring income-generating assets. Financial education is the key to long-term wealth and freedom. Kiyosaki contrasts his two dads: his poor dad, who valued job security and steady income, and his rich dad, who taught him to think like an investor. Three major lessons emerge. First, fear and desire drive most financial decisions, trapping people in jobs they dislike. Second, the rich acquire assets that put money in their pockets, unlike liabilities that drain income. Third, instead of chasing promotions, use jobs to learn about business and investing. To apply these insights, first, shift your mindset from employee to owner. Ask yourself how you can build something that earns while you sleep. Next, track your spending to identify assets and liabilities. Small changes, like starting a side hustle, can propel you forward. Finally, invest in financial education through books, podcasts, and mentors to learn more about wealth than traditional classrooms offer. Let's explore the key insights. Kiyosaki argues that financial literacy is the foundation of real wealth. Traditional schooling often overlooks the language of money. How to read financial statements, understand cash flow, and distinguish assets from liabilities. Liabilities. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out. Many people mistake liabilities, like homes or cars, for assets. Financial literacy helps you evaluate purchases by their cash flow impact. Kiyosaki introduces four categories: employee, self-employed, business owner, and investor. Financial education guides you to move from working for money to having money work for you. Traditional education systems were designed to create employees, not entrepreneurs or investors. Understanding this gap highlights the importance of self-education in financial matters. Learning to read balance sheets and income statements is a life skill. It enables you to spot opportunities, assess risks, and make informed decisions. Real-world examples show how financial education turns fear into confidence, enabling better decision-making. Start a simple ledger, take a short course, or read a financial statement. Apply what you learn to evaluate purchases as assets or liabilities. Chapter 3 of Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, titled "Mind Your Own Business," emphasizes building your own assets instead of just working for money. Kiyosaki argues that focusing solely on salary is a trap. When you work for someone else, you build their business, not yours. True wealth comes from growing your asset column, income-generating assets that work for you, even when you do not. Key takeaways from this chapter include: first, prioritize acquiring income-generating assets like real estate, stocks, intellectual property, and small businesses. Second, view your job as temporary income and your assets as long-term security. Use your job to fund your asset column. Third, mind your own business by focusing on personal finances and investing in your future. Lastly, remember, it is not about how much you make, but how much you keep and how hard it works for you. To apply this knowledge, start by tracking your personal finances. List your assets and liabilities. Begin acquiring assets, no matter how small, like investing in stocks or starting a side hustle. Commit to lifelong learning about investing and building scalable income streams. Shift your mindset from employee to owner, even if you have a 9-to-5. Financial freedom means ensuring your money works continuously, even when you do not. This chapter might just shift how you view money, taxes, and wealth forever. Historically, income tax was designed to target the wealthy. However, it gradually expanded to include the middle class. This shift occurred because the masses believed taxing the rich was fair, not realizing they would eventually bear the burden themselves. A corporation is a legal structure that can protect your income and assets. The wealthy use corporations to reduce liability and manage taxes efficiently. This strategic use of corporations is something schools rarely teach, yet it is crucial for financial success. Financial education is the real power. Poor Dad believed in playing it safe and paying your fair share. Rich Dad believed in learning the system to protect money, invest more, and create long-term wealth. Understanding the rules of the money game is essential. Start learning about legal entities like limited liability companies and S corporations. Track your spending and taxes to manage money better. Begin your financial education by reading, watching financial content, and seeking mentors. Think like the rich. Focus on reducing taxes, protecting assets, and building passive income. If this chapter gave you an aha moment, let us know in the comments. This chapter reveals how financial education and creativity enable the wealthy to seize opportunities that others overlook. Let's delve into the key insights of this transformative chapter. Kiyosaki emphasizes that financial intelligence is your greatest asset. It's not about how much money you have, but how wisely you use it. The rich don't wait for money. They create it by identifying and acting on opportunities. This mindset distinguishes financial winners from the rest, highlighting the importance of smart financial decisions. Fear and self-doubt often block creativity. Many people choose safe jobs and savings, missing out on higher gains due to risk aversion. The rich, however, leverage 4 key areas of financial intelligence: accounting, investing, understanding markets, and the law. They embrace calculated risks, creativity, and lifelong learning to achieve financial success. Opportunities often appear as problems. While others see obstacles, the rich see solutions and ways to profit. Imagination and boldness are crucial. Being rich is less about security and more about taking calculated risks. Start improving your financial intelligence. Seek undervalued assets and surround yourself with big thinkers. The rich invent money because they've trained their minds to see money-making opportunities everywhere. You can do the same, starting today. In Chapter 6 of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki flips the traditional idea of a career on its head. The core message of this chapter is simple but powerful. Do not just work for a paycheck, work to learn. Kiyosaki argues that most people chase job security and promotions, staying in the rat race for decades. The truly wealthy, however, focus on developing a range of skills. If you want to grow financially, you must develop skills in areas like sales, marketing, communication, and investing. It is not about being the smartest person in the room. It is about being the most adaptable. Soft skills like persuasion and leadership can be more valuable than technical knowledge. Job hopping can be beneficial if you are hopping to learn, not just to earn. Kiyosaki himself worked in sales at Xerox to improve his communication skills. The rich build businesses by learning every part of the system, rather than specializing in just one skill. Fear keeps people stuck. Most employees fear losing income, so they never take the leap toward growth. This chapter is a wake-up call. Education does not stop with school. Your career should be your personal university, focusing on financial intelligence and freedom. Chapter 7. Overcoming Obstacles from Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. The biggest roadblocks to wealth are not external. They live inside our minds. Kiyosaki identifies 5 internal obstacles: fear, cynicism, laziness, bad habits, and arrogance. The rich don't avoid fear or doubt. They face it and move through it. This chapter is about developing the mindset of someone who wins in the long game of life. Fear of losing money is the #1 dream killer. Kiyosaki says, "Winners are not afraid of losing, but losers are." Cynicism often manifests as self-doubt or listening to others' fears. Don't let other people's limiting beliefs become your truth. Laziness isn't always obvious. It might show up as staying busy to avoid what really matters, like building assets or learning new skills. Bad habits, like not paying yourself first or overspending, can silently destroy your future wealth. Arrogance prevents you from asking the right questions or learning from others. Stay humble and keep evolving. Identify one fear holding you back. Learn from losses, pay yourself first, and surround yourself with the right voices. Kiyosaki reminds us, the real battle isn't just earning money. It's mastering the emotions that control how we earn, spend, and grow it. If you are ready to move beyond just reading about wealth and actually begin building it, this is your moment. The core message of this chapter is both simple and powerful. You already possess everything you need to start your financial journey. Kiyosaki emphasizes that wealth is not about waiting for the perfect job, degree, or opportunity. Instead, it is about developing the right mindset, taking action, and committing to lifelong learning. First, find your why. Knowing your deeper reason for seeking wealth, whether it is freedom, security, or making an impact, will keep you motivated. Next, feed your mind by reading, listening, and learning from mentors. Pick your heroes and model your actions after successful people. Most importantly, start small, but start now. Perfection is not required. Momentum is built by taking that first step. Write down your why for wanting financial freedom. Choose one small action to take today, like reading 10 pages of a finance book. Identify a financial role model and study their habits. Commit to learning one new financial skill this month. Remember, getting started is the hardest part, but it's also the most important. Take the leap. This chapter is all about transforming knowledge into action and taking the first steps toward financial independence. Robert Kiyosaki wraps up his book with a simple but profound message. Knowledge without action is wasted potential. If you are serious about escaping the rat race, you need to do more than just read. You must act. This chapter provides a practical to-do list to help you start building wealth today. First, start small, but start now. Even if you are not ready for big investments, you can begin by learning the language of money or tracking your spending. Second, take control of your learning. Read books, attend seminars, and network with others. Third, pay yourself first by prioritizing your own growth. Fourth, invest in your mind because intelligence is your greatest asset. Finally, do not fear mistakes. Every wealthy person has failed and learned from it. Pick a financial book or course this week. Track your income and expenses. Challenge your beliefs about money. Research a simple investment opportunity just to learn. Write down your financial goals and review them daily. Small, consistent actions lead to lasting wealth. What's one action you'll take this week from this chapter? Drop it in the comments below. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next Mind Fuel Minute.